Hello and welcome to the November 10th, 2024 episode of Nick's News. I am your host, Nick, brought to you by Some Budget Studios. That's right, I'm finally paying into this pet project of mine. We're on every Sunday, and I thank you all so much for tuning in or catching the replay. You can catch us live on Facebook and YouTube because we are dual streaming. Hooray! This is a program dedicated to bringing good news to counter all of the bad news that we are bombarded with on a daily basis, with the hope of bringing a little bit of joy back into the world. Several of our articles are pulled from goodnewsnetwork.org and goodgoodgood.co, but we do appreciate all the articles that are sent in by you, the viewers. Yes, we are starting late. Technical difficulties. Some of you might have noticed our countdown timer wasn't working. This problem was first noticed yesterday when I did my special rehousing live stream for our latest Fauna edition, A Boy Named Sue. I noticed the countdown timer was missing, and I was like, well, that's odd. But I didn't think that that was going to carry over to our primary countdown timer. So it turns out all of our countdown timers are malfunctioning. So I need to get that fixed before next week Sunday. I will get that fixed before next week Sunday. Oh, Rebecca saying I need to feed the gremlins more often. Eliza is back. Hello, Eliza. And Julie, don't feed the gremlins after... No, you don't feed the mogwai after midnight. Feeding gremlins after midnight doesn't matter at that point. You have gremlins. But you just don't feed the mogwai after midnight. So... All right, we're already late, and we've got an article-packed episode. You all sent in a ton of great stuff, so let's get into our news brew. Our news brew this time around is going to be, as advertised on our Instagram, Not Subtle by Prairie Artisan Ales. This is a 14.4% ABV high-octane imperial stout that, if memory serves me, is brewed and barreled in Pursuit bourbon barrels. Prairie Artisan Ales strikes again with strong, superb stouts. So we are, of course, going to use, because it is a stout, my go-to, my Harpoon limited edition snifter, because I am facetious. Balisong bottle opener. And then, I got a little bit on me. Ooh, that's promising. The theatrics of a 5-minute pour. Look at that darkness. It's not as thick as some of the other stouts that I've literally had to chew while doing Nick's News, but it will suffice. We want every last drop. My God, I can smell it from over here. And there we go. Darkness, says Eliza. Also commenting that at 14%, that's practically a wine. You're not wrong. Mind you, one of the beers I recently picked up is 20%, and I'm going to be picking up more of that this upcoming Saturday. So, Eliza counted 30 seconds, feels cheated on the theatrics of the 5-minute pour. I'm so sorry, Eliza, it wasn't 5 minutes. We have a broadcast to do. Shout-outs! Do you want some fine wine or cider? Fox and Hen Winery is located between downtown Grand Haven and Allendale. They specialize in small batch wines and ciders that reflect the Lake Michigan climate. Check them out Fridays and Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Usually I'm there from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So definitely swing on in. And I believe their last day of the season is going to be December 7th. So get on out there if you want to sample that great wine and great cider. Usually I'm there Fridays from 5 to 7. So to Fox and Hen Winery, cheers. Wow. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's bourbon. Oh, that's bourbon. Whoa. That beer bites. It is not subtle. It lives up to its name. Holy crap. That is barreled strong. Oh, our other shout out, Monday, November 11th, is Veterans Day and Remembrance Day, if you're in the United States or Canada, respectively. So, I wanted to say thank you to all the men and women of the armed services of the United States of America and Canada for your service. Thank you very much. And to all of you, cheers. Woo! The beer is not subtle at all. Man, holy crap. For our news quote, this is a really good one. There's a lot going on in the world right now. And that's what this program is all about, is trying to bring some of the joy, trying to bring some of the light back out of the darkness. And this quote was really good for it. There is always light. If only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it. And that quote is from Amanda Gorman, who's an American poet, activist, and model. Most known right now, she did the inauguration speech for President Biden. And yeah, there is always light. If only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it. Go out and in dark times, be the light for others when you can. It's really tough. It's no easy task, especially when we're down. And a lot of folks are down right now. But when you get a chance, when you've got that strength, when maybe you've seen somebody else's light and it's helped to bring you out of the darkness, be a light to others and just keep that going, and we'll bring some light back. So I really like that. To Amanda Gorman, thank you very much for that quote, and cheers. Hi, Ed. Eliza in the Facebook chat. That's a beer that doesn't ask before kicking your door in. My door, it kicked my pearly whites in. That door kicked my teeth in. Oh, Charlie saying I've got her crying. I didn't mean to make anybody cry, but with everything going on, we really do need to just bolster one another. And I think everybody can do it. It just takes a lot. And sometimes we don't have that much to give. But when you do, give it, by all means. Because you will lift somebody else up, who will lift you up, who will lift somebody else up. And it's a great chain that just goes down the line. So, and I have faith in all of you. I love you all. So, let's keep moving. Bug update. The bugs are all happy and healthy, reporting in. Thank you all so much for all of you that tuned in to the Nick's News special broadcast, either on the Facebook page or the YouTube page, for the rehousing of Sue. Sue's first feature. Sue is our latest fauna family edition. They are an Asian forest scorpion, Heterometris longimanus, according to the pet shop. We'll figure out if that sticks. They have been chilling in their new home. They absolutely love it. I can tell by just how much exploring they do and how much more room they have to move around. They did a little digging, so that's good to see. So Sue's doing great, and Sue has calmed down. Maybe it's the moss additions to the terrarium. Maybe it's the fact that they've got a new home to explore. They're not charging me. Like, today and after I got everything done yesterday, no more charging. Just plodding around. And right now, Sue is harder to see. I don't know if Sue is back in one of the hides, but I'll have to check in a moment. Madeline is still doing well despite her advanced age, and Ripley is still the silent scuttler, just scuttling about their tank. Elmira has tucked themselves in at the very bottom of their terrarium to hibernate. Vinegaroons hibernate. So Elmira's probably going to be out for a few months. We'll just keep an eye out for her to emerge when that time comes. So all the bugs are good. Charlie in the Facebook chat is all for Team Spicy Boy, which is what they have been calling Sue. If you see someone without... Rebecca saying, if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. Rebecca, that is awesome. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Eliza, when you can't run, you walk. When you can't walk, you crawl. And when you can't crawl, you find someone to carry you. I like that. Julie, no worries. Julie saying, sorry, walked away from... Julie, you don't have to be sorry for walking away from my live stream. Like, that's fine. I'm just happy folks are here. That's all that matters, is getting joy back into the world. And on that note, we are going to get into our articles, our good news. And our broadcast is broken up into 4 categories, and those categories are science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes. Any and all articles that really get your heart going that we'd like to end on. So we're going to start off in category 1, science and technology. This first one was sent in by Mike. Mike, thank you very much for sending this in. I called it Making the Green Connection. And I will copy and paste this into the chats if y'all want to read along. Uh-oh. Just noticed the YouTube chat disconnected. Noticed the YouTube chat reconnected. That was odd. Haven't had that happen before. We're having all sorts of fun problems. All sorts of little glitches and whatnot going on. If somebody wants to confirm to me that those popped up in the chats, I would greatly appreciate it, because last Nick's News, apparently we were having some weird... YouTube being F YouTube today. Thank you very much, Eliza. And Mike, that's just YouTube being YouTube. If y'all want to confirm for me that those went in, they did. All right, cool. So both are in. All right. India unveils $109 billion transmission plan for green power. This came from Bloomberg. It was posted to Yahoo Finance. It was posted on October 15th. Wait a second, what? This article was posted in the future? Something's wrong here, folks. If you're looking at this article, it shows that Rajesh Kumar Singh posted this article on October 15th of 2024. Oh wait, it's November 10th. Gosh, shoot me. All of these problems, all of these gremlins and problems have now gotten into my brain. I'm an idiot. Man, I'm in trouble. And this beard isn't even getting to me. Alright. It's not time travel, folks. It's just from October. And for some reason, I'm more used to my articles being from the same month, usually. So... Oh, no. Rebecca, remember in Gremlins 2 when they had a lightning gremlin that messed with the electric and got trapped in the TV? I do. I loved that movie. I loved the Gremlins films. Behold Math and Calendars from Mike. Someone fed Nick after midnight from Julie. We are on the darkest timeline for sure from Eliza. Charlie's losing their mind. I am a laughingstock. All right, let's get into this article. This was posted on October 15th of 2024 by Rajesh Kumar Singh. India's Power Ministry unveiled a plan to revamp its power grid to accommodate a large renewable expansion through 2032. The project, estimated to cost 9.15 trillion rupees, or 109 billion US dollars, will help integrate 500 gigawatts of renewable power by the end of the decade, a more than twofold increase from now, the ministry said in a statement on that Monday. Transmission constraints have emerged as a key obstacle for the growth of renewable energy the world over, with a spurt in demand causing delayed deliveries and surging prices of grid equipment. In the U.S. alone, almost 1.6 terawatts of planned renewable power generation projects and more than 1 terawatt of energy storage are actively seeking connection to the grid, according to the latest data from the research center Berkeley Lab, which was published in April of 2024. To help buffer supply and price shocks, India should foster local manufacturing of critical transmission equipment, Federal Power Secretary Pankaj Agarwal said at a conference in New Delhi on that Monday. The cost of equipment is set to rise more than 14% a year from now, he said. India's government is leaning on high voltage direct current lines to connect large renewable farms to cities and industries, as this network helps send power to long distances with minimal losses. The decision, though, has left solar power and wind developers concerned about project delays, as global supplies of the transmission equipment has tightened. Post 2030, the country expects to install another 100 gigawatts of clean capacity to the mix in the following 2 years, replacing 600 gigawatts by 2032. The plan aims to increase India's transmission capacity by 35% by the same year, according to a statement from the Ministry of Power. Renewables are not the only energy source in need of more transmission lines in India. The country is also planning to add coal and nuclear power plants, all of which will put further pressure on the grid. The good news part of this is that India is stepping up with this $109 billion plan to improve its transmission specifically for the green power sector, and then also expanding it for their other power sectors that they're working on. So a lot of work going into connecting that green power to the grid, and that is really cool. So to the country of India and the different folks working on this, and to Mike for sending in that article, cheers. This next one I called "Oh Lord, He Comin'," and it was sent in by Cassidy. So thank you very much, Cassidy, for sending this in. I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along, and please somebody confirm for me that these hit the chats just fine. Oh Lord, he comin'. Yep. Meet Chonkus, the algae trying to end the climate crisis. This was posted to Popular Mechanics, one of my favorite magazines of all time, and it was published on November 1st of 2024 by Darren Orff. Tagline: "This thing loves carbon." If humans want to return to a more stable climate, they'll need to engineer some inventive solutions, whether it's perovskite solar cells, iron air batteries, or even fusion energy. However, we also shouldn't sleep on Mother Nature. After all, she's kept things running pretty smoothly for many thousands of years. One of the more intriguing options for carbon capture from the natural world is the cyanobacteria living near hydrothermal vents. These areas, which are naturally inundated with high levels of carbon dioxide, could possibly yield evolutionary strategies that help manage increased CO2 levels. At least, that was the hunch of scientists at Harvard's Weiss Institute. Then, they met Chonkus. In a new paper published in the journal Applied and Environmental Microbiology, Max Schubert and Brett Tierney from Harvard, along with other team members, described a cyanobacteria, UTEX3222, which they nicknamed Chonkus due to its fast-growing nature and large individual cells. Collected in February of 2023 near the Italian island of Vulcano, a marine environment known for high levels of CO2, Chonkus grows rapidly in the presence of the greenhouse gas. And more crucially, it also sinks rapidly, collecting carbon in a dense green peanut butter, according to the press release. Because it's used to hanging out near hydrothermal vents, it can also tolerate high temperatures, which makes the algae well suited for carbon capture in industrial applications. Many of the traits that we observed in Chonkus aren't inherently useful in their natural environment, Tierney said in a press statement. Being able to grow to a high density at higher temperatures is very helpful in the industrial environments that we use to manufacture many goods and products, and can help sequester more carbon. An incredible amount of microbial diversity exists out there in the world, and we believe it's more efficient to seek out the microbes that have already evolved to succeed in human-relevant environments. According to the researchers, this natural process could save industries 15 to 30% of the energy costs typically used to concentrate and dry carbon. And the possible benefits don't end there. A 2022 review of using algae for carbon sequestration found that employing cyanobacteria in this way could also produce useful products like biofuels and bioplastics. Chonkus also joins other bacteria found in caves that can crystallize carbon in just 10 days, despite that process usually taking up to 10 years under normal circumstances. Samples of Chonkus, along with another carbon sequestering microbe called UTEX3221, are currently cryopreserved at the Culture Collection of Algae at the University of Texas and publicly available for use by other researchers. Tierney's nonprofit Two Frontiers Project also hopes that microbes can be leveraged not only for things like carbon sequestration, but in other areas of climate concern, like the restoration of coral reef ecosystems. The problems looming over our heads are very large, but some of these problems could have incredibly small solutions. That is really cool. Chonkus has entered the climate crisis. Eliza, oh yes, we need some heckin' chonk of mean green cleaning machine. Mike, we shall send Chonkus into the atmosphere, and he shall save us all. To those researchers from Harvard and other team members, and to Cassidy for sending in that article, I believe it was... Yes. To Cassidy for sending in that article, thank you, and cheers. Oh, and to Chonkus, cheers. It's gonna be Chonkus with a steel chair. Okay, I called this next one Planes, Trains, Automobiles, and This Thing. And I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. And somebody please confirm that it shows up, if at all possible. Trying to cool things down. My laptop is really revving up. Be Like Vertical Landing Electric Aircraft Showcases Super Propulsion System. This was posted to Interesting Engineering by Aman Tripathi. And it was posted 5 days ago. Why don't they just put the darn date? So yeah, the 5th of... Yeah, the 5th of November. It was the 5th of November. Spoopy Shapeshifter checking in on YouTube. Thank you very much, Spoopy. That and This Thing is there. Austrian aviation company Cyclotech is preparing to test a new electric vertical takeoff and landing, or eVTOL, aircraft demonstrator featuring its innovative cyclorotor propulsion system. The company has been developing its 360-degree thrust vectoring technology for several years and aims to showcase the 7th generation of this system in its upcoming Blackbird flying car. I'm instantly a fan of this because the SR-71 Blackbird is my favorite plane of all time. I have a small one on my desk. I have a very large poster of one in that side of my room, of my office, and just all around love that plane. So anything called the Blackbird has my seal of approval. Cyclotech is introducing a new flying vehicle, the Blackbird Demonstrator, that features a new propulsion system for any type of manned or unmanned aircraft, but especially for flying cars, said the company in a press release. Unlike conventional propellers, cyclorotors are cylindrical devices capable of generating thrust in any direction along a 360-degree axis, which is pretty damn interesting that is possible. So I'm really interested in this. This propulsion system is the only system that can control the thrust vector in strength and direction in a full circular path, or 360 degrees, highlighted by the company. This omnidirectional thrust vectoring capability unlocks unprecedented maneuverability. This enables the aircraft to perform vertical takeoffs and landings, precise hovering, and even mid-air braking. Cyclotech is the only company in the world currently working on the commercial application of cyclorotors as the main propulsion system, asserted Hans-Georg Kinski, CEO of Cyclotech. The Blackbird demonstrator will have 6 cyclorotors strategically integrated into the aircraft's design, with 2 positioned along its longitudinal axis. This aircraft's unique propulsion system ensures a smooth, turbulence-free ride even during complex maneuvers. The 2 cyclorotors in the longitudinal axis of the aircraft enable lateral flight without banking the aircraft and increase maneuverability, explained the press release. Additionally, the use of multiple cyclorotors guarantees redundancy, meaning that the aircraft can maintain control and stability even if one engine fails. That's why we at Cyclotech use at least 6 cyclorotors to ensure that the aircraft can continue to fly in a controlled manner in the event of an engine failure, remarked Kinski. The Blackbird demonstrator will be a compact and agile vehicle, measuring 16 feet long, 7.5 feet wide, and 6.5 feet in height. Besides, it is projected to achieve a top speed of 75 miles an hour, so this thing's gonna motor. The new Blackbird demonstrator with a maximum takeoff weight of 750 pounds is now in development and expected to be completed by the end of 2024, said the press release. So we're going to be seeing this thing flying soon. That said, one can expect a vast range of applications for the Blackbird. No doubt it will function as a personal aerial vehicle to help individuals bypass ground-based traffic and swiftly navigate densely populated urban areas. But it can also be used for more challenging tasks such as rescue operations, thanks to its ability to hover and land precisely even in adverse weather and terrain conditions. The Blackbird demonstrator is scheduled for the first quarter of 2025. Notably, the competition in the flying car market is getting intense, with several companies such as Volocopter, Airbus, and Joby Aviation developing their own models to boost urban mobility. So we may finally get it, folks. Flying cars. We may finally get something good in the form of flying cars. But we'll see. The technology definitely has a number of different applications. I can't wait to see this demonstrator. Obviously, here at the end of the year, we need to keep our eyes peeled and see what it looks like. And I am definitely going to look up more on cyclorotors. To the Cyclotech company for producing this and really piquing my curiosity. Cheers. Mike in the chat, let's just hope it wasn't made by Hammer Tech. Producer Donna, Joby's version is a transformer, so that's cool. And Rebecca, sweet flying cars. All right, so that gets us out of science and technology. We're going to move on to health and medicine, category 2. We got one article in here, and it is a fuck cancer article. This one was sent in by Mona. Thank you very much, Mona, for sending this in. Did I credit you? I didn't. Mona, I will change that in post. I apologize. But Mona sent this one in. I will copy and paste it in the chat if y'all want to read along. Wait. Producer Donna, did Mona send this one in? Thank you, Producer Donna. Was it Mona that sent this one in? I thought it was. Oh, it wasn't? Oh, Mona sent in the next one. Oh, I'm just dumb. Wow. Hello, Ozuchi Kozuchi in the YouTube chat. Mona had the next article. Gosh, the Gremlins. First they get our countdown timer, and then they get my ability to do my own broadcast. Did the article post in the chats? Oh, boy. Maybe we should have skipped tonight. Nah, we can't. We already skipped one. We're not skipping anymore, I promise. Just waiting for confirmation real quick before I get into the article. I'll let our IT guy know the issues are not tech but biological. There's no need to skip. You're doing fine. Thank you, Spoopy, in the YouTube chat. Do the articles post? Can I get a quick confirmation that the articles posted? In the YouTube and the Facebook? Man, I'm all turned around. This darn countdown timer screwed me all up. Okay, looks like they posted. All right, cool. Huge breakthrough in breast cancer drug therapy doubles survival time. This was posted to The Independent, and it was posted on the 31st of October in 2024 by Storm Newton and Rebecca Thomas. A new drug therapy for aggressive advanced breast cancer could potentially double the amount of time patients live without the disease progressing, a trial has found. The three-drug combination was hailed by researchers as a huge breakthrough and potentially transformative for those with a common form of breast cancer. A study published by the New England Journal of Medicine revealed some 161 patients were given a three-drug therapy, which comprised two targeted drugs, palbociclib, a type of cancer growth blocker, and a new drug called inavolisib. The treatment targets the growth of a cancer protein called PI3K protein. The study included 325 patients from across 28 countries, more than half of whom had cancer that had spread to 3 or more organs, while more than 80% had already had chemotherapy. The 161 patients that were given the medication alongside the hormone therapy fulvestrant as part of the combination. The 161 patients were given the medication alongside a hormone therapy called fulvestrant that was part of this three-drug cocktail. Researchers found the three-drug therapy delayed disease progression by an average of 15 months, compared with 7.3 months in the placebo group. After 18 months, 46.2% of patients in the three-drug group were showing no signs of disease progression, compared with 21.1% of placebo patients. Anne Laurie, 53, was given inavolisib, these drug names, inavolisib, after joining a clinical trial at the Royal Marsden. She was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer in 2007 after 10 years later, and 10 years later was told the disease had spread to other parts of her body. Miss Lurie said, "Following my diagnosis, I was treated with surgery, chemotherapy, and radiotherapy, and when the cancer spread to other parts of my body 10 years later, I received the targeted therapy drug palbociclib. After 3 years, the treatment stopped working for me, but thankfully I was able to receive inavolisib as part of the clinical trial. Aside from fatigue, I had minimal side effects, and although I'm now on other treatment, I wouldn't be here if I hadn't had the opportunity to join the trial at the Royal Marsden." Lead author Nick Turner, a professor of molecular oncology at the Institute of Cancer Research in London and consultant medical oncologist at the Royal Marsden NHS Foundation Trust, said, "This is the first study to demonstrate the potential of a therapy combination, which targets the three key aspects of the biology of PIK3CA mutant HR-positive breast cancer." The result shows that inavolisib, in combination with palbociclib and fulvestrant, significantly improves progression-free survival when given as a first treatment for the disease. It is a huge breakthrough that builds on a long program of research at the ICR, which could prevent a transformative advance for people with this type of breast cancer. According to Cancer Research UK, there are more than 56,000 new cases of breast cancer every year and almost 11,500 deaths. it is understood that about 70% of patients have HR plus or HER2 breast cancer, while PIK3CA mutations are found in 35% to 40% of HR plus breast cancers. The combination of palbociclib and fulvestrant has been available as an option for patients with certain types of breast cancer on the NHS since 2022. The three-drug therapy of inavolisib, palbociclib, and fulvestrant is not approved in the UK, but was given the green light by the USA's Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, earlier this month. The FAA had nothing to do with this. The FDA had everything to do with this. Dr. Simon Vincent, Director of Research, Support, and Influencing at the charity Breast Cancer Now, said around 61,000 are thought to be living with secondary breast cancer in the UK, which, although currently incurable, can be treated to slow the spread of the disease and improve the quality of life. These findings show that this new treatment approach using a combination of 3 drugs could provide people living with secondary breast cancer an additional 8 months without their disease getting worse, giving them precious more time with their loved ones. That is awesome. To everybody involved in this study that was published in the New England Journal of Medicine, obviously across the world, different researchers working on this, cheers and fuck cancer. Rebecca in the Facebook chat, this news is awesome, runs in the family, but I am glad to hear there's progress. I am too. Usually anytime we get a cancer article or I get one sent in or find one, it's going up because tackling cancer and getting rid of cancer would be massive in our lifetime. Anytime we get good news about new therapies, new drugs, we're kicking cancer's ass. So, good article. So that gets us out of health and medicine. We're going to move on to flora and fauna, aka plants and animals. I called this one Recovery Zoomies, and this one was sent in by Mona. So Mona, thank you very much for sending this in. I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all would like to read along. And if somebody could confirm for me whether or not these show up in the chats. Okay, I've got confirmations. Antiviral discovered to speed recovery and reduce corneal disease in kittens with herpes virus. This was posted to UC Davis Veterinary Medicine on November 1st of 2024 by Aaron Min. It is, of course, our obligatory cat article. A recent clinical trial conducted by the UC Davis School of Veterinary Medicine has shown that... Oh no, we got more drugs. All right, we got this. Famciclovir, an antiviral used to treat feline herpes, hastens the recovery in kittens with infectious upper respiratory disease, also known as IURD. The results of the research were published in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery, and also indicated that the drug may also reduce corneal disease in some of these kittens. Ocular manifestations of IURD are common in kittens, especially those in multi-cat environments such as shelters and rescues. Many infectious agents are involved, but one of the most common is the feline herpes virus. While quarantine, vaccinations, and reduced crowdings are often used to control IURD, use of antimicrobial agents is also indicated. The antibiotic doxycycline is an established and common treatment method. This study looked at the addition of famciclovir to doxycycline in 373 kittens with ocular disorders associated with IURD. 3 age groups of kittens and 2 disease severity groups, mild and severe, were randomly assigned to receive doxycycline and a placebo or doxycycline and famciclovir over the course of 3 weeks. Kittens with mild disease receiving famciclovir reached full recovery 4 to 5 days earlier than kittens receiving only doxycycline, and significantly fewer kittens on the antiviral drug developed corneal disease. Lead authors Dr. Karen Vernau and Dr. David Maggs noted that earlier recovery leads to more availability for shelters to care for other kittens and increase the odds of successful adoptions, as younger kittens are much more likely to get adopted faster. Due to its large number of participants, the study will likely spawn additional research opportunities. Because we had so many kittens and looked at their growth every day, we noticed potential for side projects, said Dr. Vernau. Some of these kittens had hypothyroidism, ringworm, and other conditions that we can study. Vernau noted that the COVID-19 pandemic caused a major challenge during this study by affecting the abilities of shelters, rescues, and fosters to provide care. However, 2 of these groups, the Orphan Kitten Project that's run by UC Davis veterinary students and Yolo County SPCA, took initiative to keep the project moving forward. With many shelters closed during that time, those 2 groups did a tremendous amount of work caring for an overabundance of homeless kittens, Dr. Vernau said. This clinical trial could have easily been shut down, but the school's partnerships with these rescues, as well as animal-focused organizations like Maddie's Fund and the Orphan Kitten Club, were paramount in completing this study. I'm so proud of these teams working together to make it happen. And that is a good one for the cats. So, to everybody at UC Davis involved with finding new ways to cure ocular manifestations of IURD as well as other problems in cats with new antimicrobial agents, and to Mona for sending in that article, cheers. It's definitely a good obligatory cat article. I called this next one. We're way past Dolly at this point. And this was sent in by Stephanie. So Stephanie, thank you very much for sending this in. I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. And if somebody wants to confirm for me that these hit the chats. Looks like we got it in YouTube. And Eliza and Rebecca confirming we've got it in Facebook. Baby black-footed ferrets first to be born to a cloned mom. This was posted in NPR on November 5th of 2024 by Jacqueline Diaz. A cloned black-footed ferret successfully gave birth, marking the first time a U.S. clone of an endangered species produced offspring, and an opportunity to rebuild the black-footed ferret population. Antonia, a black-footed ferret that was cloned using the genetic material of a ferret named Willa that was collected in 1988, gave birth to 3 kits. One of the 3 died shortly after birth, but the 2 remaining babies, a boy and a girl, appear to be in good health and meeting developmental milestones, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced earlier this month. Antonia and her babies will stay at the Smithsonian National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute, the NZCBI, in Front Royal, Virginia, for further research. The successful breeding and subsequent birth of Antonia's kits marks a major milestone in endangered species conservation, Paul Marinari, senior curator at the Smithsonian's NZCBI, said in a statement. These births are being viewed as an opportunity to restore needed genetic diversity into the species. I saw in all caps, Eliza in the Facebook chat, is Jurassic Park what you want? Because this is how you get Jurassic Park. And Rebecca, wonder if they will ever try to clone a woolly mammoth. Both interesting points. producer Donna following it up with something she and I were discussing is this is how you help the cheetah problem. Potentially. So, really interesting applications here. Black-footed ferrets are one of the most endangered mammals in North America with an estimated 370 in the wild, according to the World Wildlife Fund. The numbers reached levels so low that by the early 80s it was believed that the animals were extinct. That is until in 1981 when the black-footed ferret was rediscovered in Wyoming. Efforts to conserve the animals began in earnest. Habitat loss and disease remain one of the major reasons for the animals' low numbers. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service also attributed genetic challenges to problems with the animals' recovery, also being faced by cheetahs today. But the genetic samples from Willa, of which Antonia was cloned, provided an opportunity that resulted in these new births. Willa's genes contained 3 times the genetic diversity seen in the current population of black-footed ferrets, all of which, except the 3 clones and new offspring, are descended from just 7 surviving individuals, the agency's press release said. Introducing the new baby's genes into the population could increase genetic diversity within the black-footed ferret species and contribute to a long-term recovery of the animal. That is awesome. I have found my feed just inundated with ferret videos, so though I am still mildly adverse to them because they're just strange little cat snakes, they are adorable, and this is a really cool and interesting way that we could deal with genetic bottlenecking that certain species on the brink of extinction are facing, especially when you have situations where you have a lot of genetic material available in certain individuals, and cloning them can reintroduce that to the gene pool. So to everybody involved with the cloning of black-footed ferrets, and to Antonia, the ferret that just gave birth to 2 healthy kits, and to Mona for sending that. To Stephanie. Gosh, I'm still got the bug in my brain. To Stephanie for sending that in. Cheers. Tim checking in the Facebook chat. Hi, Tim. Cat snakes. Weasel kitties. I gotta send those to a friend. The weasel kitties, especially. I haven't heard weasel kitty before. Alright, so that gets us out of flora and fauna, aka plants and animals. We are going to move on to wholesome notes. And we've got a good one. This one was sent in by Cassidy. Thank you very much, Cassidy, for sending this in. I called it On the Level. And I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. Good to see you, Tim. If I can get confirmation that those hit the chat just fine. Looks like we got confirmation. All right. Endangered Great Lakes piping plover survives despite broken leg. One plucky little bird is doing her part to keep her species alive. The Great Lakes Piping Plover Conservation Team says one of the birds they tracked has survived another year migrating between Michigan and Florida despite suffering a broken leg. The team shared the story in a Facebook post on Thursday. Oh, sorry. This was posted to Wood TV 8, and it was posted on November 8th of 2024 by Matt how do you pronounce that last name? Jaworowski. I think it's Jaworowski. We're going to say Jaworowski. Thanks, Matt Jaworowski. The team shared the story in a Facebook post on Thursday. The 5-year-old female is named Level. Last winter, she was observed in Crandon Beach, Florida, with a broken left leg. Even with the broken leg, Level continued to move along and adequately forage, the Great Lakes Piping Plover Conservation Team said. This April, Level... Am I thanking anybody for this one? Yes, for Cassidy. This one's from Cassidy. Thank you, Cassidy. This April, Lavelle was once again spotted at her preferred nesting spot on North Manitou Island, off the coast of the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. The team successfully trapped her in June to analyze her leg. The bands were not restricting or causing any problems to the leg, but as a precautionary measure and to ensure no future problems arose, her black and violet bands were removed, the Great Lakes Piping Plover Conservation Team said. Recently, another observer photographed Lavelle back in Crandon Beach, showing that the little bird is still going strong. Her survival is key to the critically endangered species. As of 2023, researchers estimated only 80 nesting pairs of Great Lakes piping plovers exist in the wild, more than half of which nest in northern Michigan. The bird was on the verge of extinction decades ago, with an estimated 12 to 17 nesting pairs found in the wild in the 1980s. Michigan wildlife officials have helped protect the population at the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore by closing off certain stretches of beach and placing cages over their nests that allow the plovers to come and go and keep the predators out. According to the Great Lakes Piping Plover Conservation Team, Lavelle hatched 3 chicks this summer, but all 3 were predated, meaning they were eaten or killed by predators. Sorry to hear that, Lavelle. Observers say Lavelle's broken leg is slightly misshapen and turned in slightly, but otherwise seems to have healed. The strength and resilience of a little Great Lakes piping plover never ceases to amaze us, the Great Lakes Piping Plover Conservation Team said. We hope Lavelle continues to stay healthy and safe in Crandon Beach and will return to the Great Lakes in 2025 to have a successful breeding season. I love when birds have pluck, said Rebecca. Michigan for the win, the very definition of a snowbird, from Eliza in the Facebook chat. Yes, going to them to Florida for the winter and coming back up in the summer. This is a definite snowbird. So to everybody involved at the Great Lakes Piping Plover Conservation Team, to Cassidy for sending in that article, and to Lavelle, the little piping plover, for making the trip despite a broken leg, cheers. That about wraps everything up. I thank you all again for tuning in or catching the replay on the Knicks News Facebook page or the YouTube page. Again, we're live every Sunday, and our next broadcast will be on November 17th of 2024. I encourage participation, so if you feel inclined, you can message us or post suggestions for news brews, for shout-outs, for news quotes, and even good news articles that we can present on future episodes. If possible, I'd appreciate a variety of articles that are spread out across our categories, and those categories, again, are science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes, the really nice articles we like to end on. Tim wants a quick recap on the beer. Tim, the beer was Not Subtle by Prairie Artisan Ales. It was a 14.4% barrel-aged stout. If you have Instagram, I would recommend tuning in to our Knicks News Instagram, where I am posting sneak peeks. The Instagram has a lot of little things that are going to be posted to it, behind-the-scenes stuff, but also sometimes on Thursdays, on Instagram, I will post the news brew ahead of time. So if you want to go out and get one, it gives you a couple of days to do so. Most of my beer I pick up from Rishi's International Beverage, Bellavino's, Siciliano's Market, a lot of Grand Rapids places. But there are plenty of beer places around Michigan or around areas where you can find good beer like this. So and producer Donna just hit up our Instagram in the Facebook chat. Mona in the YouTube, Great Lakes Piping Plover Team, awesome. Yep. So yeah, check that out. You can message us on Facebook or our Instagram, or you can email us at somebudgetstudios@gmail.com. I check it on a daily basis. I check everything on a daily basis. Check us out. All the links are in the descriptions of our videos or on the YouTube page and the Facebook page. So you can find us there. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment on our Facebook and YouTube videos to get good news and joy into the algorithm. We're trying to figure that out. And I'm never going to tell anybody to do anything, but I am going to say I appreciate all of the participation that you all do, be it liking, subscribing, commenting. We are 11 followers away from 200 followers on the YouTube page or on the Facebook page, which is like really cool. I never thought I would get the number even up to like 189. So like, I'm honored. I really love the fact that y'all tune in. This is like really cool to me. Spread the word if you want, but otherwise, I do appreciate you all and everything you've done. So again, if you want to, like, subscribe, and comment to our stuff on YouTube and Facebook so we can figure these algorithms out and get good news out into the world, because that's what we're all about here. So, yeah. As always, thank you again. I love you all. Have a great night, and I will play us out.